In today's video, my 4 favorite supplements, their benefits, and how to best use them.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Rebella from ProPhysique.com. Welcome to the first Monday of 2020, and it finally feels like the year is off to a start. Last year being New Year's Eve, middle of the week, it just didn't feel like we were off to anything new, but I swear I woke up today, 5 a.m., got in there, crushed my workout, and I'm ready to kick off this year, and I've been enjoying working this morning, which it was a little bit of a drag there for a couple weeks. It just felt like things weren't getting started, but I wanted to kick off the year by answering one of your questions that came from my Instagram. So if you send me questions on my Instagram direct message, what I'll do is I'll answer them here and we can discuss them. So let me read the question and we'll get started. Could you make a video about core nutritionals and talk about the benefits, your thoughts, and timing for the different products? Well, there are way too many products by core nutritionals for me to talk about. So what I'm going to do today is pick out my 4 favorite supplements, and they're probably supplements that a lot of people aren't familiar with unless you follow me a lot. Now, the reason you might not be familiar with them is because the supplement industry has changed a little bit. It's not about these flashy pre-workouts and these crazy promises. What I've found is that the products that are really having the most benefit are those that are either helping with our focus, our ability to kind of resist fatigue, or they're products that help us hormonally kind of remain balanced and not get too far out of balance. Now, nothing that you're going to take that's over the counter is going to actually change your hormonal profile that drastically. But what these products do is they keep our hormones in a safe range so that we can actually make progress. And I've seen some pretty remarkable things from some of these products, so let's go over them. And if this is the type of content you're looking for in 2020, how to build muscle, lose fat, just be the best version of yourself, hit the subscribe button. Let's start this year off right by subscribing to the channels that are going to give you some great information, and hopefully that's what I can do. My number 1 supplement, hands down, has to be Core Hard. Now, Core Hard, I started having my clients use about 3 years ago, and I immediately started noticing some crazy changes to those that were already paying a lot of attention to their diet and their training. Now, the reason I mentioned the fact that they were already paying attention to their diet and their training, well, none of these supplements are going to have much impact unless you're already in a place where you're taking care of those things. Start at the bottom. Start at the bottom of the pyramid, okay? Focus on the big things. Focus on your training. Focus on your nutrition. These products are really going to help those that are looking to get every ounce out of their effort that they're putting in both the kitchen and the gym. And what Core Hard has, the most important, would be ashwagandha, or the clinical name, which is KSM 66. Now, what I've really seen from this product, what I find, because of the dosing that Doug has created with Core Nutritionals in this hard product, because of the proper dosing of the KSM 66 and the DIM, it allows people who are kind of type A and very driven, chronically stressed, meaning their stress levels are high all the time, meaning cortisol is elevated all the time. Well, when we started introducing this product to some of the competitors, as well as my wife, who is this type of person, very type A, well, what I found was they slept better, they recovered better, they started dropping weight despite not really making any other changes to their program. What I found, looking into the research, was some pretty remarkable stuff, that it was actually managing to control cortisol on a very high level. So without a doubt, Core Hard, between the ashwagandha and the DIM actually increases free testosterone, and it also manages estrogen so that you're getting the most bang for your buck out of the testosterone that you have. This kind of powerful impact that it's had is something that causes me to feel like it's the number 1 supplement there is right now. So how do I use Core Hard? Well, for my competitors that are kind of deep into contest prep, I'll actually have them take 1 pill 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. But generally what I'll have people do is start by taking 1 Core Hard before bed, What I find this does is it helps bring down cortisol, makes us sleep a little bit deeper. Sleep is a very powerful aid in our ability to progress, to get leaner, to build muscle. And what I'll typically have people do is use it 8 weeks out from a show all the way in. So we'll start at 8 weeks out, we'll go in. Now I might extend it longer if I feel it's still having a positive impact. I myself like to go through building phases where I use Core Hard in the off season for 4 weeks at a time. And I'll stack it with a couple other products that I'm going to talk about today. So Core Hard is something that I use year round, but I personally don't like to use it for more than 8 weeks in a row, maybe 10 or 12 weeks if it's the end of a really hard competition season, and then I'll come off it and I'll have my competitors come off it. But it's a product that has had an amazing impact on both my ability to be a coach and my ability to be an athlete. The next product is something that was just released by Core at the end of 2019. And when laxagenin was introduced and I looked at the research, there wasn't really much on it. So when I got my first bottle of Core Baalak from Doug, I wasn't sure what to make of it. Well, what's the best way to figure out what to make of it? The best thing to do is to kind of get a baseline. So I got my training and nutrition in a really good spot, and I took all the other supplements out of my arsenal and I just started taking Core Baalak. And I was in a pretty good training cycle at the time, and what I noticed was an increase in recovery and an increase in my performance in the gym noticeably within a few days. And digging into the research a little bit, it does talk about the idea that it improves muscle protein synthesis and it also improves muscle breakdown. So the idea is that you can train a little bit harder and recover a little bit better. Now, as I said, these things really only matter if you are actually paying attention to your diet and you're paying attention to your training and all the things that go into making you a good athlete. So the way I've been taking Core Baalak is I'll have 2 in the morning with my pre-workout kind of regimen, and I'll have 2 in the evening, usually around dinner time. Now the third product I want to talk about is called Core Alpha. Now Core Alpha is a hormone optimizer. It contains forskolin, 7-keto DHEA, D3, and a product that I have been a big fan of for a long time, and that's D-aspartic acid. Now, the one thing I notice about D-aspartic acid is that every time I take it, I get this nice boost of energy and recovery for a few weeks. So what I really love to do with Core Alpha is run it for a short amount of time. And what I mentioned earlier was that I've kind of been stacking these products together. So what I really like to do when I really want to go through a nice little building phase, or if I'm coming up on a particularly intense period of training where I know I'm going to be in the gym, wanting to hit some PRs, kind of building myself up, I will take the Core Hard, the Core Baalak, and the Core Alpha together. That to me is a very powerful way, along with your training and your nutrition, to really push yourself to that next level. Now the last product I want to talk about is something that Doug approached me about last year and asked me if there was any product on the market that he felt we could make better. And so I actually helped him formulate this one. Now, it won't be a surprise to you when I tell you what I did. All of us know that as we go through dieting phases, the 2 most difficult things to combat are your hunger and your low energy. Well, if you can combat them successfully, you can therefore perform better and burn more body fat. That's where the term fat burner comes from. It's not a product that you just take and miraculously you lose body fat. No, it needs to be a part of, get this, a proper training and nutrition regimen. But what I thought was, if we took this fat burning product and looked at the current research, what would we improve? Well, I wanted to use it as a first thing in the morning, get up and do fasted cardio, but perform it better. And so what I did was I asked Doug, I said, could we add ashwagandha or KSM 66 to this product? And he fought me at first because he already has several products that contain it. But now Core Burn X is on the market. And so Core Burn X is something that I've been using when I get up in the morning and I want to start performing very well. I don't have much of an appetite in the morning, and it's putting my body through stress to get up and train. So I thought the added benefit of kind of staving off my hunger in the morning, ensuring that I have some good energy for training while also managing my stress and cortisol in the morning prior to getting in there and eating, the perfect combination. So Core Burn X is my fat burner kind of anti-stress product that was just released. Now guys, if you didn't already know this, I am sponsored by Core Nutritionals, so you can take this all with a grain of salt. So guys, if you're gonna be at the Arnold this year, come check us out. I'm just looking forward to making this an amazing 2020, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.